In celebration of NASCAR's 50th anniversary, CBS Sports coverage of the Coca-Cola 300 is sponsored by the 6,200 Napa Auto Parts stores nationwide and by Wrangler.
We're just outside Fort Worth, Texas. Texas Motor Speedway. Jimmy Spencer, Joe Nemechek. Out in front of Elliott Sadler, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jeff Green, the top 5. While we were away, Elton Sawyer made a pit stop. Too fast leaving the pits. He's had a stop-and-go penalty. Michael Waltron's been in. So has Mark Krogh. Andy Santerre was in 9th place when he pitted, but was too fast entering and got a 10-second penalty while he was in his pit. And Elton Sawyer, too fast down pit road again. He'll have to make another stop.
Oh, man. That is too bad. Jimmy Spencer, you could see him giving a hand signal down the back straightaway. I would say he's probably heading for the pit road this time.
Well, we're approaching that 180 lap mark that they said they were coming in, and there they are.
Nemechek comes with him. That'll turn the lead over to Elliott Sadler. Pit road speed, 45 miles an hour. It looks like they're stopped. Of course, after 190, why not? Here's Ralph.
Jimmy Spencer only needs 6 gallons of gas, so Bill Thomas stuffs the gas can in. Kenny Kraus working the catch can to take him 4 seconds. They're underway.
Dick Bergman.
Joe Nemechek gambles, no tires, fuel only, he's out, but Spencer beats him out of pit road.
Nemechek trying to accelerate around the track apron. Spencer out there in the loose stuff.
Yes, he was. He's not allowed to go across that yellow line until he gets right there towards the back straightaway. So now he's back underway.
Elliott Sadler now making a pit stop. He had taken over the lead.
And gives a few leader points to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jeff Green made his stop at the same time. And here's Sadler. Gas only. The longer you run on that first tank, the less time you need to be stopped, the less gas you need to take on.
Sure.
So they'll stretch it as far as they can. Now remember, Earnhardt was in the pits at lap 109. So he can go almost race distance.
Yeah, he might be able to go all the way. That would be stretching it, but
well, Ned, we don't know that we've had a caution since Earnhardt made that stop. We have not. It would be a long run, but he takes over the lead with Phil Parsons second, Glenn Allen. And how about the man who started last today, Randy LaJoie, with all these pit stops? He's now the 4th place car. There's Dale Sr. with his Winston Cup car owner Richard Childress. Trouble.
Spencer's in the wall.
Yeah, maybe all that stuff he got on his tires down in turn 1 and 2.
Might have cut one.
Perhaps.
See, no caution.
You see Spencer scrubbing against the wall and stopping,
Yeah,
so that will bring the caution out.
10 drivers will benefit. There are 10 on the lead lap as Jimmy Spencer's crew, with victory perhaps in sight, will have to pack it up and go home. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Phil Parsons, Glenn Allen, Randy LaJoie, who I think found that lucky charm he was seeking at the top of the day, Kyle Petty, Joe Nemechek, Mark Krogh, Elliott Sadler, and Mark Green. Those cars have not pitted in this sequence and may be the only cars on the lead lap. What happened to Jimmy Spencer?
Down into 1, the right front goes flat. You can see very hard into the outside wall. It never turned, Ned.
No, it didn't. So apparently he cut the tire for one reason or another. Let's go to the pits and Ralph.
Well, Corey Stott, we're saying that it sounds like he might have cut a tire down. Is that what Jimmy said to you?
Well, he's trying to get his breath right now. We're not sure. Not sure what happened over there. Just definitely the right front went down, and we'll have to see what happened.
A hard hit for Jimmy Spencer.
Now checking, it seems that Mark Green was just a car length shy of staying on the lead lap. There's his green and blue machine behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. So 9, make that 8 cars on the lead lap. We get set for a shootout. And Earnhardt Jr. will pit. With only 8 or 9 cars on the lead lap, this might be a high percentage move.
Well,
And the strategy is going to be different than anything you have seen so far. Earnhardt is going to pit. He is going to take 4 tires, and guess who called the strategy? Dad from on top of the hauler.
What do you think, Ned?
Well, he can afford to take tires now under a caution flag. The others were pitting under green. And this is a good move, in my opinion, to take on 4 tires once he is in the pits. And apparently they didn't feel they had enough gas to go the rest of the way. So why not get the tires while you're here too, getting gas?
Also pitting Phil Parsons, Randy LaJoy, and Elliott Sadler.
I'm sure they'll take on tires. Earnhardt has his now, and it's gone.
Now, if you're Glenn Allen, Kyle Petty, and Joe Nemechek, do you come in on this second lap of caution and take on 4 yourself, so you're the equal of Earnhardt, or do you play track position?
That's a good point. I don't know.
That's why they pay those guys down there the big money.
I'm glad we don't have to decide. Jimmy Spencer is out of his car. He's okay after that hard hit with the turn 2 retaining wall. Has a look back inside and correct the hookup operation, looking to see what might have broken up there in the right front. Here's Bill Stevens.
Boy, not a lot of tires going on these cars here, these final pit stops. Randy LaJoy just came in, just took out a round of wedge, no tires, put some fuel in the car. The car still is not right, but take a look at the scoreboard. He has really made up a lot of distance this afternoon.
Last week, a fan gave Elliott Sadler a silver dollar, and he hung on to it for luck and won at Bristol. After qualifying here yesterday, he said he was rubbing on that silver dollar and almost rubbed Eisenhower's face right off it, hoping his pole speed would stand up, and it did. So this morning, Randy LaJoy said he was going to go over to Elliott and see if he had any lucky charms left over. Must have found one, because right up there on the leaderboard is LaJoy, currently 7th. Dick Bergman.
Now with Tony Uri. Tony, how big a gamble is that? 15 laps, 14 laps now with a lot of cars to pass.
Well, there's only 8 cars, I think, on the lead lap. We didn't know whether we could make it on fuel or not. Looked like we was going to be like 2 laps short or so. I figured the rest of them's going to try to make it. We might as well have 4 brand new Goodyears on there to beat them with.
How hard's he going to run these last 2 laps?
You ain't seen hard yet.
Tony Uri.
Dale Earnhardt Sr. won his first Busch race, first Cup race in his 16th start. Here's his son trying to win his.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Texaco, a world of energy.
We're heading for a 12-lap shootout. 7 leaders, 10 lead changes, 6 cautions for 38 laps. 13 cars in the garage, 13 cars on the lead lap. Cars out of the race. Even Alexander listed his fuel pump. The fuel pump broke because he crashed. Most of the cars have had an encounter of the concrete kind here in Texas that are in the garage area. Sunday, May 3rd. Experience the saga that begins where the last Dawn left off. In the most anticipated television event of 1998, Mario Puzo's The Last Dawn 2. CBS, May 3rd. Coming up next, CBS Sports Spectacular takes a look back at the history of NASCAR stock car racing. 50 years in the space of 1 hour. Coming up next. And tomorrow, the Texas 500 Winston Cup race. You'll see it live here on CBS Sports. Don't forget to set your clock ahead, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Front row, Jeremy Mayfield, 185.9 miles an hour. Front row, Joe Nemechek. Ford and a Chevrolet to bring the field down to the green. Live on CBS tomorrow. Dale Earnhardt's first Winston Cup victory. Bristol, Tennessee, 1979, his 16th Winston Cup start. Today, Dale Jr.'s 16th Winston Cup start, or rather 16th Busch Series start. He goes 3rd behind Glenn Allen and Joe Nemechek.
And they got some cars on the lead lap. For example, Mark Green, he's on the lead lap, the tail end of the lead lap. They got to get by all of those cars.
Oh, trouble.
Glenn Allen got turned.
Nemechek got in the back of him as they come across the start-finishing line right there.
He went up into Dale, Jerry.
Caution.
And the caution is out.
Cars that did not stop fall in that last caution behind the safety car, and the cars that pitted have to line up behind them. So even though those cars were on the tail end of the lead lap, they got to restart in front of the lead cars, and some of them will get back up to run with the leaders. Mark Green.
They will. He'll get his lap back.
Mark Green, Jeff Green. Nemechek posted as the leader. There's Jarrett running with right side damage. And Glenn Allen was the victim of that.
Yeah, that's too bad. He was sitting there in position, you know, to have a good finish, maybe even to win the race. And got tagged from behind and spun out. Took Jarrett with him.
Last week in Bristol, there's Glenn Allen. The down pit road to John Munson. Glenn's best finish of the season was 9th at Bristol last week. Field slows under caution, 10 laps to go. Very little debris on the racetrack, so this may be a quick caution. Here's Ralph.
We're in the pits of Glenn Allen as they go to work on the car. No word from Glenn to crew chief John Munson as to what happened. This was their only new car in their state. Now, frustrated Glenn Allen still looking for his first Bushman National victory.
Mark Martin will pit.
He was very close to that situation. Let's look at it again.
Joe Nemechek right there makes contact into Allen's car, turns him down. You see Dale Jarrett getting collected there, trying to avoid the wreck on the inside.
Wonder if Allen was fully up to speed. Here's another look. Now watch those two cars at the bottom left of your screen.
And Nemechek really gets on the accelerator. He has good speed going there and just wham right into the back of him.
Yeah, and I think Allen, compared to the cars on the inside lane, was backing up. Perhaps he missed a shift. Who knows?
It does look like that he didn't get a real good start.
Dale Jarrett tried to take evasive action there in the 32. Just couldn't get far enough away from Allen. Glenn Allen's best career finish was 4th at Homestead last November. Thought he could improve on that today. They're going to get this restarted. It's going to be a shootout with Nemechek leading, Earnhardt Jr. and Phil Parsons.